Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And we're going to start off by doing his hat and then by the little collar. So we'll start doing that. Now my loom configuration is an extended loom, so I have 5 columns. 1, 2, 4 and 5 are all the same height. Number 3 is elevated a bit higher, so it's offset. The pegs are going to be facing open side towards you, or if you have arrows, if you have an original Rainbow Loom, the arrows are pointing towards you. We're going to be using white and blue, and we're going to be using a single band and twisting it on itself into a figure 8, looping it back over and placing it. This gives it a tighter, smaller, more compressed result. So we'll get started. Instead of double banding, we are double looping. I found when I just did it with double bands, it was really quite a big buffy looking hat, and it needs to be a bit flatter and more squat. So this single band looping on itself was a good option. Push them down on the loom so you have room. The blues are also a single band, double looped. And you are going to need an end cap. So you take one blue band, wrap it around your fingers 3 times and place it on like so. Some people wrap it around the actual peg. I find that quite tricky, so I just do it on my fingers. I'm going to take a crossover band, a single band, place it across here and just in a triangle. Now we're actually ready to loom this in. We're going to start with this band here because it is on top of all the others. So go down through your end cap and grab the two top bands, and we'll move it over to the side here. And next is this one, down through the end cap and over to here. And then we'll just loom up. You're going to loom across. This one is the top 2, these are the top 2 bands. Loom them across. Same on the other side. Loom across, and if you see one get snagged, put your hook around and just move it around the outside of the peg and it loosens things up. Find the bottom 2 bands. Loom up, gently does it when it gets tight. You can wiggle it through. Now we're going to get 2 white bands. I use 2 just in case one breaks. You've got a backup place it over the end of your hook, twist your hook so the back side is going to be against these bands, pull it through the channel of that peg, up and around to the back side of the peg, slip the bands back onto the hook and lift the ones that are closest to you up, over and off, and tighten. Now if you can't tighten because it's too tight, push your hook around and tighten up there. And now it's time anyway to take it off the loom. I like to use the back of a hook, metal hook that has no cushioning on it, to ease my looms, my creations off the loom. I think it puts less pressure on the bands, which results in less chance of breakage. And there we have a little hat. Now we're going to do his collars. So I'm just going to put that to one side and we're going to work now on the little collars. So we're going to change the configuration for our loom so that all the columns are equal height, and we're going to make the collar. So starting with double bands, blue, we work from the right towards the left, double banding, take 2 white, 2 blue, 2 white and 2 blue, and now we're going to do blues, blue, 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 blue and blue. We're going to take some white bands and go across these areas. So there's one. Trying to find bands that haven't been stretched too badly. These are really stretchy bands. Now we're going to do a little line of single bands here. So take a single band, figure 8 and loop it on itself, and we're just going to put those across here. And we're going to finish with an end cap on this bottom left. So just before we start our looming, we're going to take a single band and stretch it across as a crossover between all of these. Now we're going to go under our end cap and grab that single band that we double looped. Keep a finger or thumb on the end cap to stop it from popping off. If you can't see properly, push things down, gives you a bit more space. Just want those the one band that you looped, so it'll have 2 parts to it, but it is a single band. Once we've looped across here, we're going to loom up. So dig down and grab the 2 bands. I managed to grab one. There's the second one. Dig down, grab the 2 bands. Oh, I'm doing well here. Grabbed one. There's the other one. Grab the 2 bands. Yay, I did it. 2 bands and the 2 bands. Now we're going to loop these ones across. So grab the 2 white and loom them to the right. And the same. Careful of the crossover band, you don't want to get that in as well. So those two have been loomed across. Now we're going to loom up. Remember here you're grabbing 2 white bands, 2 blue bands, 2 white bands, and the 2 blue bands. Now we're looming across. If you feel like you're going to fall off the loom, push all the bands down. I feel like I only got 1 band then. There's the other one. Tricky, hiding. Now grab 2 blue bands. We're going to push our hook down the center of this, out through the edge, hook our 2 blue bands and bring them up and do your tie off. We'll take this off the loom, and we need to do 2 of these, one for either side, one for front and one for back. Stretch it out a bit. Okay, so that's one side. Now we'll do the other side. Push my loom back together. They sometimes sort of lift up a little bit, which can be a bit disconcerting when you're in the middle of hooking something. So double bands all the way across the top. Blue, white, blue, white, blue. I'm going to do a row of blues. Now we're going to do 2 whites here, so take a double band of white and place it there, and another double band of white and place it here. Now we're going to do a single band of blue. Oops, come here you. I'm going to do a crossover band of blue, 1 single band stretched across, and we're going to do an end cap in blue. And now we're ready to loom. Dig down under the end cap to find that single band that you double looped. Now I can see right here that a band has come off, so I'm going to grab it and pull it back. Okay, we're going to loop up. Now we're going to loop our whites, go under that crossover band, or in front of it I should say, find the two whites, and loom those in, push things down. Then we're going to loom up, look for the two whites here, two blues, two whites, and now we're going to loom from the left to the right. If it's tight, put your hook around and just wiggle it a bit. And now we're going to grab two blue bands, pull this off the loom. Stretch it out. Okay, now what you'll see is that we have the two sides, each have a hook at the end of the bands. We're going to use those to tie in, so that's great that we have those. We're also going to get two red bands to tie at the front here, so that that can act as the little sort of necktie bow at the front. So grab two red bands, and it doesn't really matter which one you're going to pick, but when you have a look at them, you'll see on the back, some of them on the back you can't really see a line. What we're looking for is sort of to have a bit of a line of white, a continuous line. This one is not continuous, this side sort of is. So you want the two continuous sides to be the front and the back, and the ones that are a bit dodgy, they go in the against the loom. So it doesn't matter which you choose to put the red on. Go under some bands here, grab your two red and pull them through, and of course I had to drop it, didn't I? Murphy's Law with me today. Pull them through. There we are. And all you're going to do to secure them is put both ends on your hook, grab the side that's nearest to you, the two bands nearest to you, pull them up and over and off as if you're doing a slip knot, because that's what you're doing, and pull them tight. And then that, you just leave it like that. That is going to be the little red tie. So what we're going to do is make his arms and his legs, and we're going to start by using 4 white bands. Oops, dropping them already. Now I've already done one set here, so I'll put the other set here. So 4 white bands here. Then we're going to go down to 3. This is for his arm. And 3 on the peg next to it. Then we're going to do another 3. Either side. 2 and 2. And you are going to put an end cap on here. over his leg, we're going to do it a bit differently. Again, we'll start with 4. We're going to go 3 and 3. Oops, broken band. So 3 and 3 next to it. 2, 2 and 2. And 2 here. And an end cap on the end. Okay, we will start by looming our legs. So go under the end cap and find those 2 bands, and we're going to loom them up. Now instead of putting them on the hook above us like I just did, we're going to grab those 2 and move it across to here. Okay, and then we're going to loom these ones up to here, and these ones up to here. We're going to take these off the loom and put them next to the ones we've just loomed. Go down and grab the next 2 bands and loom them, instead of up, across over to this side. We'll loom this up. We'll loom this up. But then we're going to take this off and again put it on the peg here. It's going to be tight, there's lots of bands there. Dig down, we have to find 4 bands. Okay, 4 bands, and loop them up. Going to do the same on this side. Grab your 2 bands and instead of hooking them up, hook them across. Now we hook up and up. Grab these ones, put them on the loom on top of the others. Again, we're going to loom to the side and then loom these ones up and these ones up. Grab this off the loom and place it back on the loom here. Find 4 bands and loom up. We're going to use a holding hook. Take these off the loom, and they are just going to wait on this holding loom until we're ready. Okay, like that. Now we're going to do the arms. Similar, we're going to go under the hook, under the end cap, and hook up. Instead of hooking up, we're going to go across, up, 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 get over there, up one more time here, and then take this off and move it across. Try and get them all on that peg. Then go dig down for the 4 bands. And I've got one that's hooked silly. There we go. And loom that in. Same for the other side. I missed a band there. Hook across, up, oops, come here, up, up. It does annoy me when the bands come off. Up, and take that off. We're moving it over here. And then find those 4 bands and dig them off. We're going to again be putting these onto our holding hook. If you don't have a holding hook, try pencil. Oh my, these bands are just disgusting. They loop and curl. Oh well. So we're holding all of these on here. Okay. And we are going to change the configuration of the loom. And I have another double loom here. And the offset is going to be columns 1, 2, 5 and 6 are all the same height. 3 and 4 are going to be lower, and the whole loom is going to be facing towards you. The open parts of the loom facing towards you, of the pegs. We're going to be using a lot of white. Okay. So we will double band, unless told otherwise you're double banding, and we'll start by throwing our bands everywhere, by putting 2 up here. One down the side. Now before we start moving in, we're going to do down. Coming across here. I'm going to use a single band and loop it on itself to put across here. Now we'll start with the shoulders. And do 4 down here, 3 and 4 on the other side. And then again, before we start moving in, we're going to come down. Push them down on your hooks. Gosh, these bands are so incredibly stretchy. It's ridiculous. I'm just going to throw these away. Those 2 are just stretched beyond belief. I have no idea what brand these are, unfortunately, because I would not be buying them again. Oh, I suppose I would if I was desperate for white bands and couldn't get them anywhere else. And this this figure does take a lot of white bands, so I guess that's rather beneficial for me. Maybe I can use them all up. Okay, now we're going to come across. And we're going to use a single band here, looped on itself, like so. Now we're going to do our crossover bands. Where you just have 2 pegs, we're going to take a single band, loop on itself, and put over. This one doesn't need one as it has the bands underneath. Now, where you have 4 pegs, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to take a single band and stretch it across. We're going to use E-beads for the eyes, 2 little black E-beads, and I thread them onto a 2.75 hook and then onto my white band. Now, instead of using this band here as a crossover band, I can take that one off and I'll use the one that I'm using for eyes as a crossover band as well. So that will fit here and the eyes will go either side like that. So now we're going to grab our holding hook with our arms and legs and we're going to place these onto our loomed figure. So the arms will go one set of bands here, the other set the other side. Turn your loom around and do the same the other side. One set and drop everything. And 2 sets. And then the legs down the bottom here, we're going to go 1 and 2, 1 and 2. There's one set, and there's the other, and one set and the other. Okay. We are ready to start our looming, and what we're going to do is dig down here and find the other side of this band. Our leg is acting as an end cap for us, so we don't have to put an end cap on. So grab that and loom it across to the side. And now, if you pull your leg out of the way, you'll see which bands are next. Okay, so these are the next top ones. They're going to loom across, and then these ones up. Do the same this side. Dig down under those bands and find the top two. And loom them across, and then these bottom two, and loom up. Now with the leg, again this one is on the top, go all the way past all those other bands, grab those two and loom them up, and then loom those two up. Now we just loom up the body, make sure you are looking for your teardrop shapes so that you have that visual reminder of things that are hooked in and things that are not. Pull his arm out the way to get to those two bands. Up to his shoulders. Okay, loom in his shoulders to his neck. Then loom his chest up to his neck. Dig down and find the top two bands. They're these ones here, and they're going to loop across to the side there. Always go for the top two when you're doing this. We'll dig down here, and we're going to find these two bands here. No breakages this time. There we go. Now we dig down and find these two. I'm going to go across here and find these two, loom them across and up, across, and up. Over the eyes. Hey, get back in there. It doesn't really matter if the eyes don't pop out there because we'll push them through anyway. Now I'm going to do our closure at the area that our hat is going to be, and I'm going to see if we can actually link our hat in so it's loomed as part of it. So what we need to do is look at the hat and dig down and find these two, the band here, and link that to this side, and then on the other side put that there. Okay, so very carefully now, because we've got an addition. Oh, it says me, and ripping the whole thing off the loom. Yeah, let's be really careful. I'm going to dig down, grab the two bands and link them across to here. Loom up to find those ones. And now we're going to take these two here and link them over this side. If I can get my hook untangled, there we go. Now we're going to take two white bands, dig down through here and out the end, put our two bands on, twist and pull up, and we're going to tie that off in a knot. Grabbing the back of a hook, we're going to ease him off the loom. You can pull him down this way, going with the rounded edge of your loom as opposed to the two little sharp edges the other side if you were to pull it upwards. Okay, so he's off the loom. Let's stretch him into shape a bit. Now please be mindful, I have the most revolting white bands there, so his hands are not looking very spectacular at all, I'm afraid. We're going to poke his eyes through. It's up to you which side you want. I prefer this side because I like his hat. His hat is supposed to be on this side. We're going to hide some of these bands. The way to do that is to just go around the back here and pop those behind on a band that we have at the back. And we can also tie it in with these ones up the top. And we'll put a clip, an S clip here. Now we'll just hook that in at about there. So that helps with that. Now his collar, the one with the little red bit is going to go at the front. The other one is going to go at the back. You've got two loops that you're going to attach with. Okay, so what we're going to do, this side first, go through the back and grab the blue bands on here, and we're going to pull these bands from the front through. Okay, just leave them like that. Then on the other side we're going to do the same thing. Push your hook through the blue bands, grab the blue bands from the other side and pull. Now to secure this, all we need to do is spread open those blue bands and put it round his head, and the same for the other side. Put it over his head, and it's kind of like a necklace. I'll make sure it's pulled down enough so we don't distort the shape of his head. There we are. Try and find his neck. Okay. And if you can, pull them down so that they are lower than the actual collar, like so. My favourite part, stab him through the face, pull that back with your hook. Okay, and we're going to just attach our S-clip on the back here so that it doesn't pull through. Work out where you want his little smiley face to be and dig through his face again and pull back the other side. And then you're going to attach that to the other end of the S-clip, like that. My guy looks a bit glum, but if you manipulate those bands, you will see that you have a little smiley face on your Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Thanks for watching the video. I really look forward to seeing your creations of this. Please post them to our Facebook page. Take care.